There's a Monday night. It's a Monday night, I think. I think it's a Monday night. Yeah, it is, but it's, I don't know, my memory is fucked. I'm drinking again. I told myself I wouldn't drink, but I came across somebody I used to know who got a few drinks. I had a couple, and then, you know, when I get a taste for it, that's it. Went and got a couple more. So I went and got myself some pizza from hell, and so now I'm just gonna go and walk in town and have a couple of drinks, watch my show, and fucking have my pizza. So for any people, I know like a lot of these people who watch this type of shit and watch these sorts of videos, black pill, you know, like depression, whatever, TFL, all of this stuff. I know a lot of you motherfuckers are living with your parents. It's pretty sad, but I know how a lot of your lives will end up, you know, or how they could end up, and you really need to sort it out before that shit's fucking really bad. You know, when I was 18, I was sitting around at the park, down at the park that's about a few blocks from my house. I brought a bunch of drinks with me. It was called Archers. It was a drink that was like quite popular at the time. I don't think they really sell it anymore. Anyway, I was sitting down there with a bag full of booze, my backpack full of alcohol. I was sitting up on the wooden fort sort of thing. And I was 18 and I was thinking, fuck, I need to move the hell out of here. You know, I thought I'd been wandering around this town for fucking years when I was a teenager. And it's high time I need to fucking leave. But I never had the balls to do it because my family was there. I thought if I ended up moving to another city, I would be homeless. And I just felt like shit, so I didn't know what to do. I was too much of a pussy living with my parents, living with my mum, like most of you probably are, because your dad's always left you when you were younger. I know, like, I don't mean to assume, but that's just pretty much how it is, you know, like how pretty much every guy I've known, like 2 people I've known who've had their parents still together, mostly they always live with their fucking mother. Their dad leaves when they're younger. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't want to leave my family, and I spent another fucking decade sitting around this fucking place. Moved out to the big city about 2 years ago. Get away from this finally after my mother died. And I thought, you know, half the reason I left, well, part of the reason I left was because I got sick. And then I thought, well, I don't want to be lying on my bed dead sometime and think, well, fuck, I didn't give it a go. So I really should have done that when I was younger. But I come back to my hometown, and I don't know if you can see, I'll add a photo that I took earlier when it was daytime. I walk around here, it was like 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, this place is dead. Right, every block you can see, like down this way, not a person around. You know, when I went up to the biggest city, which is Auckland, I walk around town at any time, pretty much there's still people to a degree. This place is dead at 4 o'clock, like half the shops that are fucking round aren't even open, you know, like even during like 4 o'clock or whatever, you know, half these shops were closed. It's even more dead than it was when I was living here, you know. It's getting more and more grim all the time. And yeah, I came back here, it's like, I know like weather's completely different, but it's been grim all the time, the weather. It's just so fucking dead. Hardly anyone walking around the town. It's like a dying town. It's like it has a disease, you know. And I spent my whole entire fucking most of my life living here, apart from when I lived in Palmerston with my stupid ex, when she was going to fucking like some kind of university and shit like that. And yeah, so I came back here because I'm between jobs in the city that I'm at. I went to start a new job, but it fell through, so I decided to come down here because of my relatives not really doing too well, like health-wise and shit. And I thought I'd come down to catch up with people. And, you know, it's good to get out of the place. You know, the big city, I don't know anybody. But my message is basically to people who are doomers, because, you know, I know that when I started seeing all these doomer videos online, you know, about the guy who smokes and drinks and goes out at midnight fucking whenever, goes to the gas station and fucking plays to buy more booze, and that I'm not the only one. You know, I always used to think I was the only one because I lived in a town like this, and I was sitting on the stage, or say I was walking around town all the time. No one else is here. Like literally, I was like 20 something. I'm like a 20-year-old fucking white guy, whatever, and I'm walking around the fucking town like no one else is here, because I've always wanted to go out. I've had a lot of energy. You know, I'm always the last guy to go to sleep when you go out for drinks. You know, because despite the fact that I have no social capability, really, I suck with people. I always want to go out and do things, but the problem is that there's nothing ever happening. You know. And I've kind of lost where I was thinking of. But basically, I always wanted to do something, but there was never fucking anything happening. I can't remember what I was talking about because my mind was fucked. But anyway, this place was fucking dead back then. But I know half you people fucking be in similar positions where you want to do something, but you've got nothing to fucking do. You know, I spent my whole life here as a doomer, wanting to go out and do stuff. It's like my first video on this channel. I was sitting up there somewhere. It was at the top of these steps at midnight because I always wanted to go out and do something, but there's never anything on. And I wasted my life. Everybody here wasted their fucking life. My family, you know. My brother and my fucking dad have houses and shit, but they've never really seen overseas besides Australia. They've never really done anything with their lives, and no one here is really happy. Everyone complains, you know. So if you're one of these guys, I'm just opening my pizza and stuff. If you're one of these guys who sits around, walking around your hometown, you go down to the park, because you've got nothing to do, you sit around, you smoke some weed, or you smoke some cigarettes, or you drink, or if you're a good boy and you don't fucking drink or smoke or whatever, you might sit around and play your video games. Maybe try and suck up to the girl that you like who's never going to date you. Sooner or later you'll wind up 25 and you think, well, fuck, hey, I'm still young, 25, it's not that big of a deal. Then you get to 26, 27, 28, and then your mother dies. And then you've got no house. Half of you people who are doomers walk around the city because you've got nothing to do. You might end up like me. And I don't want that. As much as I hate people, I fucking hate humanity. I hate the fact that men are these disgusting animalistic fucks who just want to stick their fucking cock in something. I wish every man's dick would just drop off. Every man's brain would just explode and I'd be the only person left, because I fucking hate humanity. And females as well, I fucking hate them. All they've ever done is treat me like garbage my entire life. I hate humanity. But at the same time, I have a lot of empathy for people. And I know that there's a lot of guys who are in my position. You know, you're lost, you're living with your fucking parents. You got no fucking life. And you think that just because you're young that it's okay. Trust me, it's not. Half of you people don't even know how to drive properly. You don't know how to cook for yourselves. I've seen it. A lot of these guys, they live with their parents a long time because houses are expensive. You don't have social skills to go out and flat or reliable friends. And then when your parent dies, think about it, you end up by yourself. You don't even know how to look after yourself. You'll be fucked. I'm just making this video because I'm a tad drunk. And because as much as I don't like people, I've always had an empathetic side where I would never want people to go through the same shit that I could, you know, that I did, you know. So most of the guys on these black pill, lonely, fucking celibate, whatever forums, most of you pricks are under 25. Most of you pricks are like fucking 22, some are 18. Trust me, I would do anything to go back to being 18. Because when I was 16, 17, I had things, the only things I had to my name was a $100 cell phone and an Xbox with Halo, right? I'd wander around town, I'd get into fights with people by not even wanting to, make enemies not by trying, just because I was the awkward white guy. And it would just happen, you know, like it was a miserable time. I thought my life was worthless because all I focused on was trying to get a bitch, you know, or eventually wanting to get a job. I wasted my fucking youth just wandering around town. You know, like, I thought, you know, because I was broke, I was just going to be broke, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. I didn't realize how important the future was. You know, when you're 18, you think 20 is old. When you're 20, you think 25 is old. When you're 25, you think 30 is fucking ancient. When you're 30, you think like, oh God, why can't I go back? You know, don't do this, man. Don't waste your life. Like, I mean, I look a lot better now than I did when I was 21. But because I look older and because of my age and because I've got this disease, I'm kind of fucked. You know, take advantage of your younger years while you can. You know, get yourself in the best shape. There's no excuse to be fucking obese at 19, 20 years old. 20, 22. It's the best years of your life, man. I was single for my 21st, my 22nd and my 23rd year. The best years of your life. I was fucking single. And I wasn't no fucking bachelor or player or anything. I mean, I was single and celibate for my fucking best years of my life. And I regret that because I'm never going to get that back. If you're a doomer, sits around getting fucking drunk, you have no excuse. Get to the gym. Learn what you want to do. Don't waste your fucking life, man. Because I'm over 30. I don't own a house. I've got no kids. I've been celibate for fucking years. My car's not even running. And I've got a serious illness because my diet was terrible and I drank fucking chlorinated tap water. Trust me, you think that life sucks when you're 18 because you're broke. That could be a fuckload worse, trust me. At least you're healthy. I'm not making this video to fucking talk about pity or any of that bullshit. I'm making this because I want to say, I know a lot of people complain like I did. When I was 18, I thought life was fucking worthless. Because I was broke. I wandered the streets for most of my time. And I had zero satisfaction, I had zero motivation, I had zero goals in my life. Just whenever the next high was coming. And I don't mean high by drugs, I mean say high by the next game I was going to buy, the next time I was going to meet some stupid bitch who doesn't care about me. You don't realise if you're 18 that by the time you're 25 you're still going to have the exact same fucking love for life or imagination or like that kind of feeling for wanting to, you know, like be happy in whatever that you can when you're younger. Yeah. When I was young, I thought, no point in training or any of that shit because by the time I'm older, it'll take up too much time and then I'll be older and then it's not going to matter. Trust me, it's going to matter. You're going to feel the exact fucking same. Like, you'll feel good at that age. Like, you can still have fun at that age. I didn't buy my first convertible until I was like 28. And that's a feeling that you don't want to miss out on. You know, like, getting things that you really enjoy. You know, if you're like a doomer, sitting around wasting your life, you realize that when you're older, you can still have fun. You can still have like a lot of good things in your life. I don't mean older as in older like over 30, but I mean if you actually get out there, you don't have to become rich, you don't have to become majorly successful, but you can get out there and have a life that you didn't think was available at the time. Like for me, you know, I just realized all I need to do is work a few jobs or whatever. I get my car that I like, my convertible, get a bit more money, get a Harley. All of a sudden you've got the coolest vehicle around, you know, like, because everyone else drives some piece of shit fucking soy boy car. You know, spend a while saving for it. You know, spend a while saving to go overseas. There are a lot of awesome things that you can do in life that you might miss out on. But if you're 18 and depressed, it's not over, trust me. Like, there are a lot of things you can do. I used to be so miserable because I didn't have a girlfriend and shit at that age. You're gonna feel the same when you're older. But it's better to set your life up to a point where you're actually gonna do some things to be happy, you know, like have a steady income. Find a job that you don't hate, you know. If you're 18 and going around jobs that you hate, you know, factory work, supermarkets, retail, fucking cashier type shit, labouring, whatever, and you hate that, you're going to still hate that at 30. You're going to still hate that at 40. Just spend that time to find something that actually suits you, so you don't do that same shit when you're older. Because when I was like 21 and I lost my job and I was sitting up at the monument drinking, I'm no different than I am now. I know how to cook for myself. I'm resourceful. I could if the society fell apart. I mean, I can't fully maintain a vehicle, like I'm no great mechanic, but I could look after myself to a degree. I couldn't then, but I'm the same sort of person. You know, I'm still fucking bothered about all the same bullshit. You have to learn, you know, you don't waste that fucking time. Because you're going to feel the same when you're older. Trust me. I would do anything to get back to when I was 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. Literally, if somebody told me that if I could go back to that age, all I would have to do would be to go into a gang headquarters with a pipe wrench and start smacking people, I'll do it. If I had to swim through a pool full of broken glass and salt, I would do it. If they told me I had to be torn apart by dogs, I would do it, because I would go through anything if it meant going back to them. I didn't value my life, but I had so much potential back then. Yeah, sure, I wasn't attractive. I was small. I could have gotten bigger because I did get to a decent sort of size for a while. But the thing is that by now, even if I had no bitch, I would still I would have my own house if I'd worked properly, if I'd fucking done the right things, if I'd saved money. You know, it's hard to come by, but don't waste your life in the fucking town you grew up in. You know, there's like a song by a band I like called Pantera, and it's like one of their songs, after the guitarist got shot, I think they didn't really release any more music, but they had an unreleased track called Piss. And at the start of the song, it's got a guy saying, you know, I'm just a kid who's gonna fucking die in the same town I was born in, so fuck it. And that really sort of resonated with me, because that's how I felt. Like, it's like, you're a metalhead, but you're not like, fuck, life doesn't give a shit about you, you're just gonna fucking die where you were born, who cares? I don't want people to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I came back here to visit people. My sister broke her arm, and she's not very well, and I've got a few other people to catch up with, and I've got my cat, my neighbour, like my good friend who's my neighbour is looking after my cat because I have nowhere to put it. I came back here because I wanted to see my cat and I wanted to see a few other people. And I'm sitting here getting drunk a fucking Monday night. This is town. This is centre town. And there's nobody around. It's a lifeless fucking pit. So if you're somebody who grew up in a small town, don't waste your life, because one day you might get sick. I mean, I thought that by the time I was 40 I'd get bowel cancer and I'd just be another old man who just got sick because of that, and I'd be like, bowel cancer, it's a testicular cancer, maybe colorectal, colon cancer, heart attack at 42. I thought that was just, that was just how it goes, I did not think even a thing like scleroderma would fucking exist. I did not think that I would lose all my like subcutaneous body fat padding throughout my body at this age. Like, I was so depressed for so long. When I was 25, I put a gun barrel in my mouth and I pulled the trigger because I had this gun that I had by my bed. Sometimes I used to leave a bullet, like a shell in it, because I thought, just for the hell of it. I used to think, well, I kind of felt good having this like gun next to my bed. And I just have it there and every once in a while. And I couldn't really remember whether I put the shell in it or not, because sometimes I take it out, sometimes I leave it in just for the fucking hell of it. And one day I was just fed up with life and I put the thing in my mouth and I just shot it, and there was no shell in there. I got rid of the gun eventually. I don't even know what the fuck happened to it. I mean, I think I threw it out anyway, because it was just an old wreck. Wasn't anything nice, but I did that. I used to never want to. When I was 25, I didn't want to live. I just wish I'd never woken up at the time. And I felt like I was so depressed, and I realized I felt like I was in hell because I was in a small town where there was no job opportunities. I was alone beside my family, and I didn't know what else I could do. But the gate was open the whole time. I could have left. And when I went up to a new city, yeah, sure, it's miserable, it's alone, it's being alone, you don't know other people, but there are more opportunities, and that's just one place. There's so much more out in the world that you're throwing away, if you feel like life's over at that age. Trust me, if you're young, you're going to feel a lot worse if you're in that position when you're older. You can do a lot with your life. You can spend a few months, whatever, get a reasonably nice car. Those things make you feel alive. To me, I sat on a bike a few weeks ago and I was like, it almost made me feel like wanting to go on living, because that feeling of getting behind the bars and just boom, boom, fucking turning that shit on and just fucking going out on the highway. If you've never felt that, you're not living. You don't want to die before you've learned to live, trust me. There's a lot of things you can do when you're younger and you're healthy. Don't fucking throw your life away before you really get to live. I wasted my entire 20s, and even now, even if I wasn't sick, if I could get cosmetic surgery, I'd think, fuck, cool, maybe I could finally get good enough looking. But even if I was could get myself to the stage of being handsome, if I got really good cheekbones, jaw and chin and everything at this age, hair transplant, I would just be too old. Even if I was a literal male model at this age, I would still be too old. And it's like, even I think the only people who are okay to still manage to find bitches at like 30 something are people who are either in bands or they're in like movies, you know, like that fucking asshole who's always getting early 20-year-old girlfriend. That guy was in Titanic, and when they turn 25, apparently he dumps them. Yeah, like if you're in a band or if you're in movies at that age, it's a bit different, but I would still feel gross. You know, like even at this age, if I could still get a girl who was like 22, I just feel disgusting as a person. Like it's not appropriate anymore. You know, like I always said that I would try until I was 8 years old if I had no health condition to try and get somebody. You know, it's not our fault we age, it's not our fault, you know, like we can't control how we look. You know, but our brain still stays the same, but our body ages, so it's, you know, we're going to feel the same. And a man at like 60, 70 years old is still going to want girls the same as he would when he was like 21. But he just doesn't have the body for it. But at the same time, it's kind of like, even if my mind hasn't changed, I just feel gross. People over 30 years old fucking is just disgusting. The fact that it happens in porn, where some 40-year-old fucking fucks some like 21-year-old girl, you know, like they should put a bullet in that man's brain. You know, like it just pisses me off. Like, I mean, that shit shouldn't happen. That should be illegal. And the fact that, like, I mean, being over 30 and still wanting to get relationships, to me, it just disgusts me. You know, like I should be dead. I shouldn't even be alive anymore. You know, because my biological imperative as a man is to reproduce. That is our reason for being alive. No. That's our reason for being alive. Everything we do, to some degree, is to attract a mate. You know? Whether it's trying to get a nice house, to get a job, the money to appear more good, you know, because you want to take a girl out and you want to impress her by saying, hey, no, I'll pay your share, you know, I'm the man, I got the fucking nice fragrance, I got the nice shirt and fucking the money, and I'll take you there in the car, you know, all that shit. I'm not just talking about getting gold diggers, but I'm talking about being the man who's something that you want to admire, you know, like you've done something, you made something out of yourself, you're cool because you have the vehicle and the house and whatever. All of that shit, all of that is to try and impress somebody. You know, like, do you think that men would spend fucking 4 years studying or 2 years studying or any of that shit to get a job, to get better pay if they thought that they'd never get a partner? You think they'd, you know, like buy a nice vehicle with at least a tiny little bit at the back of their mind that they didn't think, oh, well, this is going to make me look cooler, you know, to try and attract somebody, set me apart from the group, you know? That's the thing. It's all to try and make yourself look better. But when you're over 30, it's no longer really appropriate. So why the hell do you keep living? You know? You can continue living for your house and your hobbies, your pets, your family, get to see more sights in the world and shit like that, but at the same time it's like you're still going to have that craving nagging at the back of your head. Most people thought I was really young looking for 29, you know, at that age. So, you know, that was cool, but at the same time it's like being over 30, it's like, it's disgusting to still want this. But the problem is that you have that nagging little voice at the back of your head, that sex drive still wanting you to do it. You know, I wish I could get rid of that. Drugs don't do anything. I was considering chemical castration, you know, to get rid of those needs or those feelings. But that doesn't stop it. It just stops your dick from working, you know, like, it doesn't take away that need, you know. And I just hate the fact that I'm over 30 and I still want to have a partner. I still want to have that feeling. I've lost in life. I've absolutely lost because I've got to 30 and I've got no kids. I have failed my life's goal as a man, to reproduce. I've got no kids. And I've never really had the real deal. I mean, like, the fact that I still want to keep on living because this is my only life. If I die now, then I lose my chance of ever getting it. But I just wish that I could do that once before I leave this fucking earth, you know. Like, I don't just want to bang somebody mindlessly like some animal. I want to have a relationship with somebody. I want to be able to have a kid with somebody and have a fucking house. I want to. You know, people tell me, oh, you know, you're subpar genetics, you don't deserve to reproduce. But motherfucker, I look around this fucking city, right? I see so many really, really fucking ugly guys. Out of shape, useless, genetic garbage. Fucking absolute genetic garbage. And this is coming from me. Like, I see some of these motherfuckers, they can't even fucking speak properly. They don't know proper English. They're dumb as shit. They drive everywhere. They've got no fucking health. Like, their stomach protrudes like a fucking distended balloon. You know, these, like, I mean, I'm ugly, sure, but like some of these motherfuckers, seriously, they look like crap. Half of them can't even fucking speak properly. Their kids, they reproduce, but their kids are as fucking stupid as they are. You're telling me I'm not fucking good enough to fucking reproduce, you know? I see these people and they're just trash, man, and they get to do this shit. But I haven't, you know, like, and I just feel like an absolute fucking failure. So, seeing as I haven't managed to, by this age, and it's gross for me to even want that now. Like, I mean, I'm disgusted with myself for the fact that I'm over 30 and I still think about sex. I still want to have that thick fucking partner who's like my ideal person to not just bang but have a kid with. And I'm like, why am I still feeling this? Why am I still here? And, you know, like, I should have. I mean, sure, I've got some horrible disease that's going to kill me in a couple of years or whenever if I don't stop it. These gay fucking assholes in the hospitals won't give me my treatment to stop this fucking thing progressing because they're scumbags. But the problem is, aside from that, is that even if I didn't have this freaking medical issue, it's like, why am I still here? I mean, I get it, the disease is probably a thing to kill me off, right? But why should I have a disease to do that? I mean, men should have a time limit of like 30 fucking years for their sexual drive at least. Like, if we're going to keep on living, if as a man, if we're going to keep on living past the age of 30, why doesn't our sex drive just fucking dissipate and leave us alone at like the age of 30, you know, when it's no longer appropriate? Like, why do I have to keep thinking about this shit? People are like, oh, you know, you're gross, you're inappropriate, oh, it's not right for you to fucking have these thoughts because they expect ugly men to be asexual, you know? Even throughout your 20s, girls expect ugly men to be asexual. They think that ugly men should just have no sexual feelings at all and they should just be okay with being fucking alone. Meanwhile, fucking Mr. Tall and Handsome gets to be a complete piece of shit and it's okay for him, right? But the thing is that, like, anyway, over 30, it's like, it's gross, you know? 30-something-year-old men should not be fucking people. That's just disgusting. And, you know, it's fucking gross. And I hate the fact that I have these fucking feelings, you know. But the fact that I'm still here, I should be looking after a kid. I should be just at home with a house, looking after a child, teaching them to grow up to be everything that I failed on. Everything that my dad failed to fucking tell me. You know. Spend the rest of my life discovering the world, traveling and teaching a kid how to be a better person. Instead, I'm sitting here decaying and fucking drinking. Told myself I wouldn't drink again. I went to a show a few weeks ago. I got kicked out though. Because the security was all assholes, but that's my fault. And I was so pissed, I don't even remember it. All I remembered was what I recorded on my cell phone. I feel like shit. And I told myself I wouldn't drink again, but I ran into somebody who I used to know who gave me a couple of drinks. And now I feel like I just wish I could drink until I was like asleep. Really just shit. That's my life, man. I came back home to visit my home city and realised that I definitely should have left here a long time ago, because I'm the only guy walking around. I'm the only guy in the city apart from a few fucking people who drive around. No one's walking out on the streets. I used to wonder where all the depressed people were, you know. I see so many Doomer videos online about these, you know, Wojak characters who go out to buy smokes and drinks and things. They're dead of the night sitting down at the park. Where are all these guys when I was doing this, you know? I thought that I was the only person in the city who was like this, and maybe because I wasn't in a bigger city, but even when I am in a bigger city, the only people I see wandering around at night are the bums and the crackheads and the hobos, the homeless. But, you know, we're all the depressed fucking guys, the doomers and shit at. Because I always felt like I'm the only one. I mean, I never see anybody else who's like that, let alone a fucking white guy in his 20s just sitting around drinking because he feels like shit. You know, I feel like I'm the only fucking guy who's like this, and it's just weird, you know? It's just strange. The whole message of this video though was don't waste your life in a small town. Get the hell out of there where you can. Doesn't matter if you have a couple of friends, if you've got family or whatever. They probably won't be there when you're older. Probably not in 20 years time, 10 years time. Spend some good quality time with them, get to learn all their stories and do a bunch of things with them, but then leave. That's my massive regret, wasting my whole entire 20s in a place like this. It's what I do during the week. Walk around this town 2 or 3 times a day. 2 or 3 times a week. I just walk up and down this fucking Ave and shopping centre, hoping that something was going to change, hoping that I would get a good job and a bitch and a few other, you know, like, and hoping that life would work out. But it never did. Never did. And all I got was sick. My mum died, and then I ended up fucked. Don't waste your life doing the same shit that I did. You can improve yourself, you know. I mean, I don't look good now, but if I'd gotten a cosmetic surgery when I was 21, if I'd looked after myself and done the best I could by myself, I would be in a way better position than I am now. So don't waste it. Anyway, I'm gonna get to my pizza. Got my fucking pizza here and my drink. Another one in my pocket. And I'm just probably gonna go to sleep here because what the hell, why not? See you later.